Let's see. I'd like to call to order the regular business meeting of the Board of Education for Monday, April 28th to order. If I could ask everyone to please stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, we are moving into the home stretch for this academic calendar. I can imagine the pace is picking up significantly and the attention spans are beginning to wane just a little bit. Just the sense I got the other day. Kids, both. Okay. Actually, the summer is busy for us, so don't get any ideas. All right, today's agenda, actually roll call first, please.
Stephen Arthur.
Here.
Jim Batson.
Here.
Alex Deli-Polly.
Here.
Jack Rudy.
Here.
Aaron Lundstedt. Here. Ellen Mauer. Here. Bill Ratzer.
Here. All right, did you guys hear that? That was my conscience in the back. Roll call. All right. The agenda today, we have some student recognition. Nothing really from the President's report. We will have reports from both schools. Our student representatives are here. Superintendent's report. We'll have the time for public comment. Consent vote agenda, which was reviewed in committee earlier in the month. We'll have updates on program and personnel, facilities and finance. Do you have an update this time, Stephen, on property?
No.
Okay.
Make an announcement.
And CEDAW?
Just a sentence.
Short one, okay. Illinois Association of School Boards, Jim, anything tonight? Okay. Then we will be convening an executive session and any action today following that?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Should be.
So we will have action following the executive session, and that should be it. All right? All right, so let's start out with our student recognition.
Tonight we have two recognitions. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Swick, and we have a student that we're going to introduce who is part of the 2013-14 IHSA All-State Academic Team.
Great. If I could have Catherine Kazwara please come forward. It is my pleasure to introduce Catherine to the group here. We had a wonderful banquet April 21st where Catherine was recognized at the IHSA All-State Academic sponsored by Caterpillar. This award is they pick 26 students, 13 males and 13 females across the entire state of Illinois. And in order to qualify for this award, you have to have a 3.5 GPA average. You have to be in at least 2 IHSA activities, and you have to exhibit outstanding citizenship. And so it's a wonderful banquet. Everybody just says you want to capture that room, and you could run your own country with just the, I mean, all of them are GPAs of 4 plus, you know, and everything, and just really, really outstanding kids across the state of Illinois. But this will be the 5th IHSA All-State Academic person for Vernon Hills High School, and 2 years in a row. Allie Tran won it last year, and Catherine, we were so pleased and proud of her winning it this year. So Catherine is on our girls basketball team, she's on our math team, she's involved in everything here at Vernon Hills. But we just had a wonderful evening with she and her parents right here, and I just want to congratulate Catherine on this wonderful achievement. Thank you, Catherine.
Let's get a picture of you standing. Back of everything else. And Catherine, can we have your parents stand up and let's give you a round of applause?
And in addition, the Vernon Hills High School WISE team, sponsored by Sarah Staub, also placed first place. Sarah?
Thank you. Good evening. I am one of the sponsors, Sarah Staub, and I teach chemistry here. And Josh Ravenscraft is our physics teacher, and he's the head coach. And I just wanted to represent the team, the WISE team, which stands for the Worldwide Youth in Science and Engineering. And we went down to U of I and just placed amazingly. We got first place. But we have a lot of amazing individuals too that just did an amazing job. So I'd like to introduce my team. I've got most of them with me, but I'm going to go down the whole list so you can hear all the names of all of our team members. And if the team members could come up and just kind of stand behind me, that would be great. So Karen Liu and Lucy Wu, Conrad Kosich, Eric Zhang, Ari Bard, Ryan Curtis, Alex Orlov, Jared Schless, Justin Yim, Isaiah Liu, Justin Song, Michaela Kalvaranen, Victoria Steigerwald, Colin Meister, and Anantha Arorali. So this is most of our team, and I kind of want to give you something about some of these individuals too. So we did place first as a team, and without everyone on the team, there's no way we could place first. It is truly a team effort. They can attest to the fact that Mr. Ravenscraft was kind of nervous as they were listing the awards. Michaela and Justin both placed in chemistry. Michaela placed 6th in chemistry, and Justin was 1st. So we're really excited about that. Something that was unexpected, because the computer science test is so difficult, and we have Ryan here who placed 2nd place. And I think that's amazing. Without his score, we may not have won. So he really came through for us on that one. In English, Victoria, she scored 4th place. And then we had math, Justin Yim with 1st. Physics, specifically, we had Justin Song with 2nd place and Eric Zhang in 5th. And so with all these places, as well as all the people who didn't technically place, I guess you could say, they only listed the top 6. But everyone's score did count, and without their help, we couldn't have done it. So I'm really thankful to have all these team members, and we thank you that we could be here today. Thank you.
Where you want us, Mayor, over a little bit this
Yeah,
side.
why don't you guys slide over a little bit, and
Maybe 2 rows?
if you tall guys want to stand in the back, that would be good. So we short people can stand in the front. Make sure they can see you, that's way more important. And then let's just stay here for a minute and let your parents get all the pictures that they want to take. One more. Hang on. That's okay. Guys, come on. We're not in any big hurry here, so. Everybody good? Thank you. Okay, congratulations. And once again, before we go, we want to say thank you to the parents, because we know you have all been integrally involved with your children for many years to get them to this point. So we'd like all the parents to stand up, and let's all give them a round of applause. Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay. All right, isn't that always fun? This is the season, I guess, too. We'll probably see more next month. All right, nothing specific on the President's report other than, I'll just highlight, I did spend Friday morning here at Vernon Hills, and I know you guys were up in Libertyville last week as we're trying to select replacements for you guys, which is a very challenging task. I just simply want to relay to everybody again, it's an amazing morning. I think when you get a chance to spend a day here, just, as many times as I've done it, it never ceases to amaze me the kind of students we have. I was especially impressed by their openness. I mean, we asked a couple tough questions, including one that was, to describe a demanding situation that you faced in your life and what happened and what did you learn from it, and just the way the kids were able to respond to those questions I thought was really impressive. So it's just a great way to spend a morning, and I think all of us can feel really proud. The other thing is, it never ceases to amaze me when we ask them to describe Vernon Hills, as I'm sure you ask them to describe Libertyville. They almost all use language like supportive, welcoming, academically strong, and, you know, just a great validation of all the hard work that you guys do. So, you know, again, I say thanks for everything you do to make it like that, and thanks to all those parents who actually give us those great kids. And it's amazing when the whole community comes together. So I just always find it a great day. You guys want to share anything from?
Well, we just met this morning, we had a wonderful experience, and just the quality of the students come in and their preparedness.
It's a tough job.
Enthusiasm is
Eight
really neat.
people come in. We're just going to throw the apps up underneath the desk, those two in, and we'll figure it out.
I'm always left with the same impression that I had the first time I did it, which is, I'm sure glad I don't have to go through it.
Yeah.
I don't think I could compete. Okay, given that, how are things in school?
So like you guys said, we were sitting in on some of the interviews, or I was sitting in on some of the interviews at the Louisville this morning. And that was a lot of fun. It was really cool to be on the other side and see what that kind of interview process was like. And like Mr. Greedy said, it was really, there were a lot of great applicants. But in terms of our school, to update on some of the clubs, I always give an update about Mata UN, and our Mata UN team a couple weeks ago went to Northwestern for Newman, and we had one best delegate, Gordon Schlicht was his name, and he won in the Balance of Power Syria committee. You see what he was in, which is really interesting. And he got a best delegate award, which is the best you can get, which is really awesome. WISE, we saw a presentation for Vernon Hills about WISE. Our WISE team went downstate. We had two individuals, Tim Lee, a senior, and Ankur Rastogi, a junior. And Tim placed second in math in the unlimited division, the highest division, which nets a $1,000 scholarship to U of I, which he isn't taking because he's going to Carnegie Mellon. But also for Tim, he's one of my friends, and I wanted to tell you guys a little bit. He qualified for a competition called USIMO, which a lot of us, like in the AP class, are talking a lot about. There's a competition called the AMC, American Mathematics Competition, that a lot of kids take. It's open to anyone. We had an 8th grader take it this year. And then a certain score, I think it was a 112 for AMC 12, which is 11th and 12th grade. And then I don't know what it was for AMC 10 for 9th and 10th grade, qualifies you to the next level, which is the AMY. And that's the top, I think, 1% of kids who take the AMC, which is crazy. Tim then on the AMY scored a 10 out of 15, which is, I think I took the AMY my freshman year and got a 0. It's impossible. That's really hard. He got a 10 out of 15 and qualified for the USIMO. I think he's the first kid from LHS to qualify for it since the early 90s. Our math teachers don't even remember when. And he didn't come because he's humble, but I just wanted to brag about that a little bit because that's ridiculous. And then our math team is going downstate this coming weekend, so we're getting excited about that. We won state last year, hoping to do it again this year. In terms of not about the academic clubs, we had a musical Godspell over the weekend that I went to go see. It was really cool. They did a different take on it. If anyone's seen Godspell, they set it in a classroom and incorporated a lot of social media into it, where you could text things in and they displayed it on screen. They had Twitter, things like that. So they modernized it a lot. It was really cool, and I liked it a lot. We have AP week coming up these next 2 weeks, which is what everything comes down to for a lot of the AP classes. So that's kind of nerve-wracking. We had exec board elections for our student council today, and they're going on until tomorrow. And so we kind of revamped the exec board, which is like the student council for the entire school, not just for one class. So we had that today. And then in terms of sports, Tara couldn't come today because she's at a lacrosse game against Wheaton Warrenville North, and the girls lacrosse team is off to a kind of tough start, but they're getting there. They're getting into the swing of things. And then our baseball team is kind of our pride and joy at LHS. We're off to a 16-2 start, I think, undefeated in Illinois. We lost 2 games against 2 nationally ranked teams in Arizona. And then we have a professional prospect on our baseball team, so that always helps. He's getting scouted there, MLB scouts at the games, which is really cool to see, going to watch your classmates play, and there's MLB scouts watching them, which is really cool. So that's what's got it going on at LHS now.
16-2, I would have thought that would have been the high and low temperatures on average.
Well, and there's something else going on with baseball right now, isn't there? There is an upcoming series with Mundelein. It's their big rival in many things, but certainly baseball.
They're always like a powerhouse. So. And the mayor,
I think the 2 mayors have executed a wager on the outcome of that series, which would result in, they have to sweep it, which would result in the losing mayor buying dinner for the opposing mayor and the entire village board of the other village. So as you know, Mayor Wepler is a Libertyville graduate, so he is really walking the talk and putting his money where his mouth is, so
I'd say it's a safe bet based on how we've been playing this year.
that's good.
We're a good baseball team.
That's good. So Terry, if you're watching, okay, we're thinking about you.
All right.
All right, so at Vernon Hills, the buzz around the hallway right now is prom. It's Gatsby themed this year, Great Gatsby, party at Gatsby's. We had our student council elections a while ago, so we know the results of that. Kristen Guglielmi, who's going to be a senior next year, is our exec board president for the 2014-15 school year. The senior party fundraising events are going on. We're going to be selling blizzards in the foyer this week, which is really fun. AP week is coming up, so a lot of the AP classes are switching from content to prep for the exam. Junior State of America, JSA, had their spring state convention, and that went really well. The juniors took the Prairie State Achievement exam, and I think that went well too, but we're glad it's over. It's 2 days testing. There's no more late starts, so everyone's a little bummed about that, but it also means that some fun end of the year things are coming up, like ABC Countdown for the seniors. Seniors' college decisions are also coming up May 1st. The spring athletes delivered and spread mulch on Saturday for the annual mulch drive. The spring play is this week. It's called You Can't Take It With You. And as far as fine arts, cabaret for choir is Disney themed this year, all Disney songs, so that's gonna be really fun. And band is preparing for Superstate on May 10th.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay. And thanks again to both of you guys for all your hard work helping select your replacements. I know it's a long morning. All right, superintendent's report.
Okay, more good news to share from District 128. The following LHS students were named April Students of the Month: Krista Rose, Alex Yor, Danielle Dayton, Manny Queenan, Maya D'Souza, Jessica Eimerman, Carly Palm, DRC Jeffries, Micah Brame, Nate Villiard, Luke O'Brien, Colin Apgar, and Quaid Kale. The following LHS students were named March Students of the Month: Courtney DeGurtis, Sarah Peary, Laura Brennan, Kirsten Reed, Taylor Ski, Alex Pagura, Tim Miller, Parijat Tripathi, Riley Lees, Joe Gatone, and Ethan Urbanski. District 128 high schools rank among the most challenging high schools in Illinois and the nation. The Washington Post has released its annual list of America's most challenging schools. LHS and VHHS rank 550th and 883rd respectively among the 2,025 high schools on the list. Fewer than 10% of high schools in the nation made the list at all. Among Illinois high schools, LHS and VHHS rank 15th and 25th. Only 65 of the 682 high schools and 146 non-public high schools in Illinois were named to the Washington Post lists. VHHS and LHS also received impressive rankings in the U.S. News and World Report's 2014 Best High Schools list, receiving a gold medal and silver medal respectively. In the national rankings, 500 high schools earned gold medals, 1,519 took home silver, and 2,688 were awarded bronze. The U.S. News rankings include data on more than 19,400 public high schools in 50 states and the District of Columbia. Schools were awarded gold, silver, or bronze medal based on their performance on state assessments and how well they prepare students for college. For 2014, District 128 high schools were ranked as follows. At VHHS, their national rank was 457, which earned them a gold medal. Their state rank was 17th, and their STEM ranking was 80th. At LHS, their national rank was 609, earning them a silver medal, and their state rank was 25. It is worth noting that by taking the 16 charter schools and 18 magnet schools out of the rankings and comparing VHHS and LHS only to Illinois public schools, the schools ranked 12th and 20th among the 674 Illinois public high schools. And we'd like to pause a minute and certainly thank our outstanding students and certainly the teachers and administrators and support staff in the buildings that work with our students every day, and the parents, again, who have worked with our students for many years to get them to this level. Very, very exciting to know that both LHS and VHHS are in the top 1 to 2% of all public high schools in the United States. As you heard earlier, the VHHS WISE team took first place at the April 9th state competition at the University of Illinois. Out of 18 teams and 292 individual students competing at state, the Cougars prevailed. Individual awards went to Michaela Kunwaranan, who finished 6th, Justin Yum, who was 1st for chemistry, Ryan Curtis, who was 2nd for computer science, Victoria Steigerwald, who was 4th in English, Justin Yum, who was 1st for math, Eric Zhang was 5th, and Justin Song 2nd for physics. The WISE team is coached by Josh Ravenscraft and Sarah Staub, who you met earlier. Additionally, Justin Yum, Justin Song, and Ryan Curtis won small monetary scholarships from the engineering department if they do choose to attend the U of I engineering school. Congratulations to all members of the 2013-14 WISE team: Karen Liu, Lucy Wu, Anatha Aruloli, Conrad Koshish, Eric Zhang, Ari Bard, Ryan Curtis, Alex Orlov, Jared Schles, Justin Yim, Isaiah Liu, Justin Song, Michaela Kuhn-Waranen, Victoria Steigerwald, and Colin Meister. Great group. I'm certainly proud of all of them. VHHS senior Yuri Stepanov took first place in crime scene investigation at last week's Skills USA State Conference in Springfield. He is now qualified for the 50th annual National Leadership and Skills Conference to be held in June 23rd through the 27th in Kansas City. LHS senior Tim Lee earned 2 medals at the Illinois Academic Challenge State Finals on April 10th. Tim competed in the Unlimited Division and earned a 6th place medal in chemistry and a 2nd place medal in math. The 2nd place finish in math also earned him a $1,000 scholarship to University of Illinois School of Engineering. LHS senior Christian Klepak and VHHS senior Steven Steinheiser were selected as finalists to participate in this year's Illinois High School Musical Theater Awards program. This is the first time students from LHS and VHHS have been selected for this honor, which is only in its 3rd year. The awards took place on Friday, April 25th at the Broadway Playhouse at Water Tower Place in Chicago. The Lake Region Illinois Principals Association recently honored LHS students Anthony Paglia and Elise Hosek at the IPA Student Recognition Breakfast held right here at Vernon Hills High School. Those students were selected for their outstanding achievements in the school and community. Round Lake High School hosted 14 high school art programs at this year's North Suburban Conference Art Festival. VHHS students named Best of Show winners that evening during the reception were Aubrey Black, Lulia Biararski, Amber DeFrank, Hannah Friedman, Mason Geik, Ann Ho, Rachel Jacobson, Rishi Ling, Katie McLaughlin, and Cassie Sandoval. LHS student artists receiving Best of Show awards were Brooke Levin, Ellen Kenston, Christine Kim, Bailey Schmid, Kelly Brandt, Laura Janisek, Maddie Anderson, Rylan Williams, Allie Amos, and Alex Bassler. LHS senior Tim Lee is qualified for the United States Mathematical Olympiad with his exceptional score of 10, as earlier noted on the recent American Invitational Math exam. In February, 191,000 students took part in the American Mathematics competition. Of these, 4,035 qualified for the American Invitation Mathematics exam in March, and 270 have advanced to the USAAMO. The top 48 Illinois high school teams competed on Saturday at the State Science Olympiad competition at the University of Illinois, and the Libertyville High School team placed 8th overall. Members of the LHS Science Olympiad team include Nick Bone, Hezekiah Chan, Rosanna Chen, Sean Duffy, Maya D'Souza, Zach Inkfer, Griffin Farrell, Sarah Green, Megan Harder, Michelle Yee, Heather Lagan, Kelly Lubers, Holly Miller, Aaron Neal, Tanvi Patel, Colleen Palicki, Melanie Chin, Ankur Rastogi, Connor Robinson, Reed Sabazan, and Katie Zhu. The team is coached by Ursula Ahern and Mary Allen. LHS Student Activities Director Jennifer Ulix was named Student Activities Director of the Year at the recent Illinois Director of Student Activities Awards banquet held at the Rosemont Convention Center. She was nominated for the honor by LHS Principal Marina Scott and VHHS Student Activities Director Deborah Beagle. LHS teachers Becky Kenny and Andrea Laura were named Community Educators of the Year by the Illinois Directors of Student Activities. This award recognizes persons involved in student activity program initiatives in the area of community service, specifically their work with the LHS Student Council campaign, Be the Giving Type, this year. The 65th Annual Illinois FBLA State Leadership Conference was held March 28th, 29th in Springfield, Illinois. 12 LHS students attended the competition and 4 students qualified for the National Leadership Conference. Nationals will be held in Nashville, Tennessee, June 29th through July 2nd. Sam Gold and Grant Dean earned first place in e-business, and Elizabeth Wu and Ann Mal Shaw earned first place in business financial planning. The FBLA team is coached by Loretta O'Day and Kristen Connolly. The VHHS FBLA team also participated in the state competition. In addition to bringing home many top 10 honors, 10 members of the team qualified for this year's national competition in Nashville. The team is sponsored by Diane Phillips. Team members qualifying for nationals are Justin Yim, who finished 3rd place in business calculations. Aritha Adaraju finished 1st place in business math. Vijuv Shastri finished 2nd place in client services. Noah Cho finished 1st place on the help desk. Julie Bolos finished 1st place in Introduction to Business. Ryan Curtis was 2nd place in Introduction to Informal Technology Concepts. Niran Akarati and Alex Lau were 1st place in Public Service Announcements. And Oliver Lee Young, Derek Zhang, and Ankit Angrawal were 1st place in Sports and Entertainment Management. VHHS 2010 graduate David Valentino was one of 11 winners honored at the United States Institute of Theater Technology Conference in Fort Worth, Texas. David, currently a student at the University of North Carolina School for the Arts, received the USITTW Orrin Parker Undergraduate Scene Design Award. USITT members from across the country nominated talented young artists who are completing or recently completed their education for the honors. David started his set design career at VHHS by designing the 2010 set for the Mouse Trap. LHS sophomore Luke Wardnaby was named a finalist in the Illinois Holocaust Museum and Education Center's 2014 Leo and Antonio Gershinoff Memorial Student Essay Contest. Luke was recognized for his submission, The Keys to Our Past, the Reminders of Our Past, at a reception earlier this month at the Illinois Holocaust Museum. On March 17th, LHS seniors Kelly Brandt and Krista Erlandson won national silver medals for their photographs submitted to the 2014 National Scholastic Art and Writing Competition. The Scholastic Art and Writing Awards competition is the longest running and most prestigious scholarship competition, as well as the largest source of scholarships for creative teenagers in grades 7 through 12 in the United States. This year, tens of thousands of pieces from across the country were judged regionally, and gold medal winners from the regional level were judged on the national level in 16 different art media categories. The Scholastic National Silver Medal is one of the highest levels of achievement on the national level. Kelly and Krista have both earned monetary scholarships for their submissions and have been invited to receive their medals at an awards ceremony at Carnegie Hall on June 6, 2014. The LHS Symphonic Band won the Class 4A competition at the State of Illinois Invitational Band Contest held at Illinois State University last weekend. The band received Division I ratings from all adjudicators and placed 10th overall. So once again, as we conclude 4 pages of outstanding student information, I think it should be evident to the public again that our students are very successful across a wide variety of activities, athletics, the fine arts, and academics, and we are certainly proud of them. And again, the staff and their parents who have worked with them so hard over the years, just absolutely fabulous across the board. Okay, next on the superintendent's report, as the board will note in your packet, we had one FOIA request since our last meeting. Number 3 on the superintendent's report is approval of the 2014 Ombudsman Alternative Educational Services Agreement. And as the board will remember, this time of year we do use Ombudsman services for external placement from time to time. And over the course of the years, we have taken a contract that has contracted a similar number of spots that are in the contract. And we recommend this evening that once again we engage the services for the specific seats that we have requested at Ombudsman.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the Ombudsman Alternative Educational Services Agreement as shown in your packet?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Arthur,
Aye.
Mattson,
Aye.
Delli Polly,
Aye.
Grudy,
Aye.
Lundstedt.
Aye.
Mauer. Aye. Batson.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next on the superintendent's agenda is the 2014-15 proposed committee and board meeting schedule for next year. After Denise and a number of people looking at the calendar for next year and potential conflicts that at least we know of right now, we are recommending that we adopt this proposed calendar for next year. And of course, if there are events next year or things that would happen, this can always be amended prior to a specific meeting.
Okay.
Make a motion that we approve the schedule as listed.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Batson,
Aye.
Delli Polly,
Aye.
Grudy,
Aye.
Lundstedt.
Aye.
Mauer. Aye. Batson.
Aye.
Arthur.
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. And next on the superintendent's report this evening, it gives me great pleasure tonight to recommend Mark Koopman for the new District 128 Director of Buildings and Grounds. Mark is currently the Director of Buildings and Grounds here at Vernon Hills High School. Mark came to us from Highland Park Deerfield High School District 113, where he did outstanding work. He has an excellent background, great organizational skills, wonderful knowledge base, and really superior people skills. And in his time here, he has really impressed Ellen and her team, and Jess, Yasmin, Al, myself, and Chris Stansel, who's the LHS Director of Buildings and Grounds. Mark is very excited about taking this next step, and this is a precursor again to getting our team lined up and put in place as we begin over the next 2 to 5 years to engage in our larger capital projects. So with that, we would wholeheartedly recommend Mark Koopman for the new District Director of Buildings and Grounds position.
Okay. Is there a motion to hire Mark Koopman as District Director of Building and Grounds?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Delli Polly,
Aye.
Grudy,
Aye.
Lundstedt.
Aye.
Mauer. Aye. Batson.
Aye.
Arthur.
Aye.
Batson.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you. And several pieces of information very quickly under other tonight, as we always like to keep the board aware of what's going on in Springfield that may impact us locally. As you're aware, the legislature returns tomorrow for their sprint to the end of May, which includes putting a budget in place for our state in the difficult financial position we're in, and many of the decisions that are going to be tough that go with that. There are 3 areas that are of concern to us right now that we're working with, not only our local legislators, but legislators at the state level on. The first is we continue to work with them on our concerns regarding a Common Core assessment, and for Illinois that would be PARC. The timing of that assessment, the technological preparedness across the state for that assessment, and maintaining ACT, in-class during school ACT test as part of that process. So we're continuing to work with our advocates down there and engaging with legislators, including also including the state superintendent of schools. So hopefully we'll have some better news to report on that in the future. Second, there is a discipline bill floating downstate which has legs, and it is Senate Bill 3004, Amendment 2. And that bill has grave concern for us with our feet on the ground at the local level as we are trying to maintain a safe and secure learning environment for students. In essence, what that bill does is it rolls back 25 years of really good legislative work that has given us the tools to make sure that we can provide safe and secure learning environments for our students. It limits the length of suspensions for students for some pretty significant offenses, even though we already have a really strong set of due process things in place for students when they go through student discipline. So we're monitoring that bill, and we're working with our local senators here. That would be Senator Link and Senator Duffy on that bill to make sure they know how we feel about that bill. But that is a quantum leap back in the world that we live in today, when there's more and more attention given to securing school facilities. The last bill is a bill that's coming off of work of the EFAC Committee, which is the Education Funding Advisory Committee, which is a bipartisan group of legislators who have been looking at the way that we fund schools in Illinois. They've made some initial recommendations out of that committee, and of course from that there will be winners and losers, so to speak, from that bill. And we've had a number of conversations with the board here about our potential willingness to work with some of our the limited resources that we get from the state, because we're a property-rich district, with other districts that don't have as much as we have. So the superintendents at this point met with 2 state senators 2 weeks ago from Lake County, who are sponsors of the bill. We had a great conversation with them, and what we've encouraged them to do is wait one more legislative cycle so we have a better picture of what the impact of the budget is going to be in the state, so more districts know locally what impact just the normal budget process is going to have prior to passing that legislation. For example, we know at some point we're going to pick up the cost shift for the pension, which will be 6% when it's fully implemented. So we need to have a little bit more information, to go back to a point that Alex always makes with us, prior to actually implementing that legislation. So we'll see what happens with that bill between now and the end of May, but those are bills that we're paying attention to and that we're in constant contact with our legislators on. And that concludes the superintendent's report. Dr. Gertie.
Thank you. Anybody from the public who would like to speak? All right, seeing none. Next, the consent vote agenda is listed. It was reviewed in committee earlier this month. Can I ask for a motion to approve the consent vote agenda?
Oh, sorry. Move to approve the consent vote agenda.
Second?
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Rudy?
Aye.
Lundstedt?
Aye.
Mauer?
Aye.
Ratzer?
Aye.
Arthur?
Aye.
Batson?
Aye.
Ellie Collins?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next, Program and Personnel Committee, Chairperson Mauer.
Okay, we have 2 items. The first is educational tour requests. We need a motion to approve the educational tour requests as listed. There are 6 of them.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ratzer?
Aye.
Arthur?
Aye.
Batson?
Aye.
Ellie Collins?
Aye.
Rudy?
Aye.
Lundstedt?
Aye.
Mauer?
Aye. And then next, employment of employees. We need a motion to accept the employment of employees as listed.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lundstedt?
Aye.
Mauer?
Aye.
Ratzer?
Aye.
Arthur?
Aye.
Batson?
Aye.
Ellie Collins?
Aye.
Rudy?
Aye. All right, motion carries.
Okay, and that's it for the report.
Thank you. Facilities and Finance?
Thank you, Dr. Grudy. We have 2 items on the Facilities and Finance Committee. The first is a bid recommendation for sanding and refinishing of the Libertyville High School gymnasium floor.
Yes, we'd like the board to accept the bid from Lenco Flooring of Prospect Heights for the amount of $22,400. There were 2 bids. The next bidder was at $32,000. That's why we delayed the recommendation a month, so we could check to make sure that their bid was meeting our specifications, and it does, so we're ready to go and have that done with Lenco flooring.
I'll move to accept the bid from Lenco Flooring to redo the floor of the gymnasium.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mauer. Aye. Ratzer.
Aye.
Arthur.
Aye.
Batson.
Aye.
Delli Polly.
Aye.
Grudy.
Aye.
Lundstedt. Aye.
And then the next item is for the construction of boiler plant addition for Libertyville High School.
Yes, I'd like the board to accept the bid from Stuckey Construction of Waukegan in the amount of $1,429,000. Excuse me, this will be, excuse me, phase one of this project. In phase one, we'll put an addition to the chiller plant coming east of the chiller plant. We will then put in 4 high-tech heating shelf units, for lack of an unprofessional term. There are 4 of them that will save us quite a bit of money and efficiency in our heat process. We would then, phase 2, we would then, as soon as we get this in operation, we would then check to see where our steam leak came from that caused us so much grief since December. And it's good that Stuckey is there, since they are also working on phase 2 of our basement flooding issue. And Stuckey has done a lot of work for us. It's a good company. The next bid came in at $1,890,000. That company was the company that did our Virginia Graham Baker pool work for us. So it's also a good company. So we couldn't lose except for the money.
I make a motion that we accept the bid from Stuckey Construction. Second?
Any discussion, question?
And
Ultimately, just so everybody understands, part of this was driven by the steam issue that we had. We have a steam leak. And as well, long-term, by adding on to the plant where we're placing this, 1.4 million phase 1 part, ultimately may be able to get us out of the older section of the building and the boilers on that end where we had all the flooding and the issues there.
That is correct. If everything falls into place, our present boilers, the big Kiwani boilers that are on the lower level, will no longer be in operation, and we will remove them and hopefully be able to get someone to take them off our hands. And then we'll have storage and so forth down there. Anything you want to add on these high efficiency?
Better myself.
So one other question though, if I recall when we discussed this a couple of weeks ago, that actually takes that rear location for a future pool off the table. We were going to double check and make sure it was. Does that then commit us to the front location?
Yes.
And everybody's okay with that?
Yes.
Doesn't commit us to the front, but certainly
makes it-
that's a popular option, but the other options, as we said, getting back and pushing ourselves into the lake, or
Right.
toward the lake, is not a desirable situation.
Okay.
So
It
it's
makes
not-
the front more desirable.
All right.
It makes, right, and certainly moving all the utilities that are there now, it would be a very expensive proposition as we research it.
All right, but we were going to double check that with Brian.
Yes.
All right.
And the board, the last item, the board needs to hear it now. There's a long lead time for these new boilers. So the substantial completion date for this project is October 15th. You can well bet that it'll be cold by then. It may not, so it's gonna be tight that we get the boilers in place in time for school.
So what does that mean? If it's a month late, what happens?
What
children are
we don't have any
cold.
heat.
We'll move these little guys over.
There won't be any heat, I'm certain.
We can do it.
Sir? I'm in trouble.
Hey, no problem, Jess.
Okay.
No problem. Because I'm going to be calling you at 2 in the morning, so.
And it's safe to
I'm
say
gonna be the
that
first.
Yeah, and it probably won't be the last.
it would be safe to say that
This is the
this,
case where we have some temporary alternative we can use, or is there?
No, I'm sure if we see that this is going to be an issue, we'll have something to do.
Yeah, it won't be a wake up and, oh my goodness, we're late. It'll.
Oh, yeah.
come,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well,
But again, there's, just mechanically, there's alternative options we could put into play if we need to.
But the temporary boilers will still be there.
Yeah, so I don't think it's as
Yeah.
a bad situation, and we always have another third option here. Is that we have to
Base heaters?
We're,
Right.
it's safe to say that this is also going to provide a certain level of improvement in cost in
Energy efficient, yes.
being much more energy efficient with these.
It's a good deal. It's going to be good for
We
us.
get a rebate from the state.
So we'll be greener and leaner,
Greener and leaner.
smaller units.
Oh, yeah. About the size of refrigerators, aren't they?
Big refrigerators.
Big
freezers.
Big walk-in
Yeah.
refrigerators.
All right.
Okay. We need a roll call for this one?
Yes.
Arden.
Aye.
Batson.
Aye.
Kelly Polly.
Aye.
Rudy.
Aye.
Lundstedt.
Aye.
Mauer.
Aye.
Ratzer.
And that's it for the facilities
Okay,
and
well
finance.
done.
Thank you.
Nothing on property.
One thing on properties, Stephen and I have had some conversation about the possibility of having a committee of the whole meeting, which would, again, focus on property and capital, either Monday, May 5th, or Monday, May 19th. That would be alternating, those two dates are between our normal committee and board meetings. So I will be sending tomorrow an email out to the board on behalf of Stephen, just to assess people's availability to do that. At those meetings, we'll invite the building principals and athletic directors, Jess, of course, and Yaz, anybody else that would be involved in some of the capital discussion and property discussion that we've had. We'll also have some, hopefully, a little update on the possibility of property acquisition across from Libertyville High School, et cetera, et cetera. So look for that email and let me know your availability on those 2 evenings. And we'll do the same with the administration, and we'll lock one of those days in to have a status update of where we're at right now and begin planning forward from some of the initial information collecting that we've had.
So is that meeting likely to be long enough? You don't want to schedule it with P&P and F&F?
Yes,
or-
these are the 2 dates I gave you are opposite, they're not on
Yeah, but
our dates.
what I'm wondering is. I mean,
Yeah, they're
the-
too long,
Too
they're
long.
too long, right, yeah, too long to go to the same meeting.
Yeah, I have on
Oh, I'm sorry, so it would be the 5th and,
26.
5th and the,
Well, it's Memorial
Oh, that's
Weekend.
why it's on the
okay,
19th.
it's 2 dates in May, I'll get you the dates. They do not conflict with
Because
our
the 5th would be next
our
week.
committee and board meeting. Right. the
So
5th
they're
would
not
be
on
next
Monday?
Monday.
What's it?
5 in a row.
They're trying to go 5 in a row, is they're trying to set a record here or something?
There's only 4
We
Mondays.
took it easy on you early in the year
I
this year.
know. Okay, all right, keep us posted. Okay, is there anything else on that? Good. That's your committee that's running away from us here. Okay, Cedar.
Superintendent.
Oh, just wanted to update you that the, as you remember, the districts 125, 103, and 96 down in Lincolnshire, Stevenson and the feeder districts are requesting to remove themselves from the cooperative. And now that has been approved by the Lake County Regional Office of Education. So that's just the official word. And so that continues to move forward. And the 3 districts will stay, as you remember, with the cooperative until the official exit will be July 1st, 2015. So that was negotiated a year
Part of the
longer than
settlement.
what they were hoping for. So just that's been approved.
Okay, great. Anything else, Karen? Okay. Jim, you said nothing from the Illinois Association of School Boards, right? All right. Next, we're going to convene an executive session. We have 2 topics today. One is collective bargaining, 5 ILCS 120/2C2. And the second is employment of an employee, 5 ILCS 120/2C1. So if I could ask for a motion to move into executive session.
So, second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Batson.
Aye.
Kelly Polly.
Aye.
Rudy.
Aye.
Lundstedt. Aye. Mauer. Aye. Ratzer.
Bring it all
Aye.
together.
All right, motion carries. As I mentioned, we will take action following the executive session.